Welcome to Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith
and Roxanne, presented by The Triggered Project.
Find out more information about The Triggered Project, go to www.triggered1.com. Welcome to Living a Triggered Life podcast at sea with Keith Maskell.
Roxanne Maskell.
Yo, so we're on vacation and I was like, yo, we got to fill some content. So this is what we got. Roxanne, where we at?
In the middle of the ocean?
Yeah.
Somewhere between, well, we just crossed the transatlantic, so I believe we're in the Caribbean Sea now.
Yeah.
But we were in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And it was rough.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it was rough. So what's up, Rox? How are you? You're looking beautiful and a little relaxed. What's cracking?
I am relaxed. It's been a long time. We haven't been on a cruise in a long time since before COVID.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So it's like coming back to something.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Oh, I like it.
Well, I'm detoxing. So no phone, no emails, nothing really.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
No doubt. So
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've been dealing with a little bit of this little kind of half seasickness, sort of, kind of.
Yep.
Which has been really hard, and then hurt my back. So, the rolling seas don't help at all.
No.
But I'm okay. I'm with you. So
You're working it out.
So I'm working it out.
That's
Sure.
what's up, dude. That's what's up.
So what you want to talk about today?
Well, we should talk about what we just experienced in the last, is it 3 days? Because I lose track of time right now.
Okay. 3 days, that works.
Because we had a really good conversation about something very particular that's been on our minds. And I think we should talk about it because it came up.
Okay. I don't know what that is, so you're going to have to tell me.
Okay. So, y'all, we started our trip from Massachusetts to Portugal, Lisbon. We flew to Lisbon overnight. We did all our travel one day. That's not something that I recommend for anybody to do. It's awful, but we did it. But it was really hard. And after traveling, we got to Portugal around 5 a.m. And then we got on the ship at maybe 11, 12, something like that. So we traveled the whole time from the day before to the next day. And then did we lose like 6 hours? I think we lost like 5 hours.
No, 6 hours.
So we were tired and hungry and thirsty. And there's some kind of storm pattern going on. So they cut us short. We didn't get to go to the Azores, which is one of the places we wanted to go. We didn't get to see much of Portugal, but you know what? We're going to come back. But one of the things we talked about was that we were doing a transatlantic cruise, which we've never done before.
Yeah.
And I didn't give it a lot of thought. I just wanted the experience. But
here's one question. Why are you talking so loud?
I am?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Because you're just talking to me. Like,
I'm loud?
yeah.
Maybe I'm just loud in general.
No.
Oh, you want me to tone it down?
You're being like loud, like there's 3,000 people like that you gotta talk to. Like you are talking to like mad people, but you know what I'm saying?
Why you gotta be such a jerk about it?
What do you mean? I just had a question. I was just wondering why you were talking so loud. I was like, why is she talking?
I know, but she's so jerky.
Well, I'm not
You're
jerky.
just jerky. Anyway, can we get back to it? You want to contribute something to what we're talking about, or you just want to talk about me?
No, of course. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to yell. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? That's all.
2, 4, and 7. That's you.
Yeah. Even on
Okay.
vacation.
Where were we?
You
Since you want to be
talking
interrupted.
about you were talking about that the path that we were on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
A transatlantic path.
Yeah.
And if you know that enslavement of our ancestors started in Portugal. Now, that's not something I always knew.
Right.
That I've known for a few years now, but it wasn't originally the information that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a movie on the flight that was talking about the enslavement of African people in Portugal.
Yep.
And I learned a lot of different things that I had not heard before. It got me thinking about what exactly are we doing? And since that time of thinking that, and since we got off the plane and watching that movie, I'm realizing that this is the route.
Yeah, one of the routes for
Mhm.
sure, right?
Yeah,
This is one of the routes we talk about. The interesting thing is we talk about trauma, right? Is we're talking about ancestors, we're talking about like how things come out in our bodies and our relationships. Like, some people say things are in our DNA, right? And, going on this path is something that people don't necessarily think about, but it's like we've been traveling places where our ancestors have been through this work with the Trigger Project, right? So now Lisbon, right, which will take us all the way through to the Caribbean to Puerto Rico, right? But we also know we were in Richmond, Virginia, doing work with Nationalization of Black Social Workers, right? And Baba O,
the
and
original
right.
burial grounds.
The original settling. That's where they came ashore,
Yes.
so to speak. So it's
Mhm.
like so now we were at the beginning of some of the journey, right?
Mhm.
And then also just realizing like how close when you get into Europe, how close Africa is from there
Yeah.
as well. Like you think about it, you see it on the map, but it's not until you actually go and then you start to see the different types of people that are like you're in France and Portugal, right? And then we get to Spain, we'll see the influence, but it's like when we're talking about healing, right? As we've always been talking about, like I feel like this is part of the journey. And last night we didn't sleep. We
Mm.
didn't sleep. The boat was rocking like crazy, right?
Right.
And like I felt like we were going through what the ancestors went through in some
Well,
ways.
their body,
Right.
their bodies and experience of, I mean, nowhere close,
Of course. No, no, no.
but the experience of your body experiencing the sensation of
Right.
the movement of the
Yeah.
ocean and pushing up against
Right.
this ship that we're on, which is this is a luxury ship,
Right.
so nothing like it.
No.
But this idea of experiencing the ocean and what the ocean was doing to us
Right.
while we were trying to sleep,
Right.
and sort of thinking about, you know, placement of bodies
Right.
and the suffering and the pain.
Yeah.
And that's what came up for us. We started talking about this idea of ancestors because a lot of our ancestors are in these waters.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Whether it be resistance of all kinds of sorts, they're in these waters.
Right.
And we are here in these waters
Right.
experiencing the movement. And, I didn't give it, I knew what Portugal was about. I understood that part, but I didn't really realize what it meant to be taking this transatlantic cruise and this background. And then watching all these people
Hmm.
on this boat just like clueless.
Yeah. Not even thinking about it. Not
It
even,
doesn't
not
even
even, not
dawn
even
on
thinking,
them.
not even thinking about it. And the other part is, we met some folks of color and stuff. There's a lot of people who are not of color, and how they look at us in terms of us, you know, looking young and blah blah blah. Like this disdain for us in a lot of
Yeah.
ways with how people look at us, and you know, and it's like wow. So even 2025, right? Folks not even really realizing or not really caring about the history of what this means, still in a place of privilege.
Yeah, it's all about their
It's
privilege.
all about their privilege,
It's all about looking at us like, how did you get here?
right? What
What
you
are you
doing here?
doing
What
here?
you doing here?
Right?
And stuff like that. Not everybody, but still, just just some people. It's just so evident. Um, that they have no idea. And we just met some folks, you know, some black folks on the boat, and they were like, "Wow, we didn't even think about that." It's like, wow, right? And they had spent 2 weeks in Portugal before, um, they're taking this back to the States pretty much.
Yeah. They said that this was cheaper than a flight or
Excuse me.
something, they
Yeah,
said.
right,
So they decided to take the cruise back
right.
to the
But it was like,
States.
wow, wow, we didn't even really like think of that. And wow, we couldn't sleep last night either,
Yeah.
you know? Excuse me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's just a lot to kind of process and a lot to kind of roll out in our bodies. And the one thing that I love is that, we felt this aggravation in our bodies, right? But
Yeah.
we stuck together, right? It wasn't something
Mm-hmm.
where I was feeling agitated and I took something out on you, or you took something out on me. We actually were really loving and caring to each other, but
Mm-hmm.
we were both having a hard time
Yeah.
and rubbing each other and stuff. And I think that's like something that is really, really good shoulder massages. So to clarify. Um, I mean, I know we're on vacation. I know where your mind went. Shoot.
It was just the way you said it. I was like, clarifications, please.
No, it don't. We grown. People that listen to this podcast are grown. They know what it is.
I know, I
But
know.
still, um, but it's something, but it is, being activated in some ways in our
Yeah.
bodies, and we stuck together.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I can't say like that always happens, but I mean, that's something I'm kind of happy that that we did.
Well, we supported each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were experiencing different things at different moments.
Yeah.
And it's always hard when we're on vacation and you're not feeling well.
Right.
That's always difficult because it really changes kind of like how we shift and move.
Right.
But I think we just showed up to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have to download exactly what was going on with each of us, but
Right.
we knew that we were both having a tough time for different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's kind of, I mean, it's unsettling in some ways, but
Yeah.
then again, it's settling because we're
Hmm.
acknowledging, right? We're acknowledging that ancestors are in this water, right? And that, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that struggle as well,
Hmm. Yeah.
But it is important. I think one thing that's just important for us to think about is that like going places where our DNA has traveled is a form of healing
You mean like a full circle,
in some ways.
sort of
Like, I mean,
regathering?
right, the work has taken us in different places. Like I said, like Lisbon, right? We're starting in Lisbon. Now we're going all the way to the Caribbean, right?
Hmm.
To where your folks were, right? Your Black Puerto Ricans, the Tainos and stuff of where that first started, but also, you know, for folks too, Caribbean too, Barbados, right? There, or however, whether it was Nigeria to Portugal to Barbados, like, but so we're going in that direction. But then because we were in Richmond, we also know this is part of the same
Hmm.
path
Yeah.
and stuff, but just, hooked it up
Yeah.
west or whatever to get there,
You mean Northeast?
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry, right, Richmond. And then also, right, did some work in Portsmouth, New Hampshire,
Mm.
right? The ancient burial ground work, right? Which is the other port that folks came in through.
Yeah, well, right now we know about, there's more to know, but what
Right,
we know
right.
about right now is Richmond,
Mhm.
burial grounds,
Yeah.
New York, Portsmouth, and Boston.
Yeah, I don't necessarily, I have to be 100% honest because I don't want someone to fact check us. So that's why I didn't mention New York. I didn't mention
Well,
Boston.
I know New York.
I didn't mention that part with Boston, but before they get to Boston, they went through Portsmouth. And I know
They
that for
went to
sure.
Portsmouth and
Yes.
came down.
Yes. Because that's why even when Richmond, enslaved folks came in through Richmond and then went down south. which is what also we don't necessarily talk about
No.
that as much as we probably should,
Mm,
as it's supposed to be like differences between just Southern folks and people in the West Indies, and but most of the people that are down south are mostly West Indians who came in from Richmond and then
yeah.
went down south.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like, we're all the same folks,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm. I think also the other thing I've been thinking about is I've always lived near water,
Yes, right. Right.
and
You
there's
love
always been a special connection to water.
water.
But what was that?
You've always liked water. When I first met you, you liked water. You like take showers and stuff and water. So that was always a special thing. You know what I mean? Like take the water and go whoosh in your face and go like this, and you'd be like, oh.
That's what you want to do right now.
I was just
Really?
co-sign. I was just co-signing
That's
with
you
you. I
co-signing?
was just
I
co-signing
was
what you were
talking.
saying. What's the problem with
I
that?
was about to talk about the Yoruban deity Yemaye, and you're talking
Oh,
about
okay.
how you're acting like there was like a flash dance moment between us. That's what you just did.
Pretty much.
Right. I'm talking about the Yoruban deity and
Okay.
how the spirit of Yemaye, I got a reading, and Yemaye was, you know,
Uh,
in my
uh,
spirit.
okay. We call you Roxanne.
No,
No.
no,
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's it.
That's deep.
I was just going to add that little tidbit to our experience.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Hmm.
That's cool. I mean, this has been great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Hmm.
But you've been listening to Living a Triggered Life podcast at sea. My name is Keith Maskell.
My name's Roxanne Masco.
And remember, you're no longer surviving, you're thriving. And you earn that. Thank you for listening to Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith
And Roxanne, presented by The Triggered Project.
To find out more information about the Triggered Project, go to www.triggered1.com. And remember, you're no longer surviving, you're thriving.